if you'll just clip that on.
Yep.
Well, I appreciate you meeting with me. Let me give you a quick summary of what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I teach in the Presentation Practice Center. I run the Presentation Practice Center. I teach full-time life skills and public speaking.
Awesome.
And when they told me, you need to do a sabbatical, you haven't done one. I was like, oh.
Fine.
What do you want to do? And just a quick story, but I don't want this to slant like what you're going to say or anything like
Yeah.
that. I was sitting in a communication department meeting. And
So are you in the comms department?
I have a foot in there.
Okay.
So I'm in tutoring center, but then I teach comm stuff.
Gotcha.
And so I'm sitting in a meeting, and we've got somebody coming in to present a new degree that's a general studies degree.
Okay.
And so they're like, all right, this is what's going to have. It's going to have 2 writing classes. It's going to have a humanities class. And we thought it'd be fun to have a psychology class and this and this and this and this. And I'm sitting there. I raised my hand because I didn't really want to draw attention to myself. I was like, do you guys not have public speaking? They're like,
Duh.
and I was like, why wouldn't you like that be one of the first things?
Yeah.
And it's funny because I left there and I went to the Mannering Center, and they have a big sign that says, we graduate effective communicators. And then my question was, do we really?
Like,
I mean, we say we do, but like we don't have that mindset. And so my thought was like, what are we doing to get these students ready for graduation?
yeah.
So that they can get a real job. And so then that kind of sparked into, are they ready?
Yeah.
And then that kind of gets to the point of like, what do they need to do? And so I was like, I might as well go ask the alumni. So that's where I'm at. It's like, and so it's really about the it factor, like the hireability. Like we all know those people that you want on your team.
Yeah.
What are the characteristics, skills, and traits do they have that you want them on their team?
Yeah.
And then can I translate that into teaching them at BYU?
I love that. That's awesome.
So that's the quick story of it. So do you do much? Well, you do recruiting, it sounds like.
I don't do recruiting.
Okay, what do you do?
So I used to do recruiting. So at one point I did, but I'm at the Assistant Director of Development. So I do fundraising and alumni engagement at ASU.
Oh, cool.
I know. Ironic, right? But so I work on the foundation side of ASU.
Okay.
So that's what I do. But I mean, I guess like we run our little team, and on our team we hire people, and it's a team effort to hire people. But so I don't hire people specifically,
but you want to get the right people on.
We all want to get the right people on our team.
So just keep that in mind as we talk about these. How do you find your people?
So I do know how we find our people. It's almost exclusively LinkedIn.
Okay.
Yeah, which I don't think it's an effective way, but it is the way they do it.
If you could do it your way, how would you do it?
I mean, I think it would be, I'd say recruiting, and I'd say a lot of networking, because I think that is how you find more effective people. Now, is it fair necessarily to other students, other people? Not necessarily, because there's better candidates, maybe someone in Minnesota or whatever, who's a great candidate who might apply on LinkedIn, but I can find someone of better quality that I think might fit with the team dynamics better if you know them and I know you, and we all know the same person together, then that person I can make fit into my team better,
Do they apply to be on your team?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you get the application, what makes a person rise to the top versus those?
So specifically at my school, if we're going to talk specifically at my school, so I work at the international school in ASU, the International College. So it's international experience is what makes them rise to the top.
Okay.
Now, if we're going to talk about ASU in general, what makes them rise to the top, I would say is just a little more permanence in Arizona, less, what's the word? Someone who's not going to leave Arizona.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Transientness.
I don't know. I can't remember the word, but like someone who's willing to stay in Arizona, and especially at the foundation, because I'm not at the university, I'm at the foundation. So someone who's like willing to stay at the foundation and like work with donors and like build the repertoire.
Interesting. All right. There is a stage in the interview process. You do interviews?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. What qualities and skills make someone stand out during the initial hiring process beyond just the resume or formal qualifications?
You know, this is something that I think is going to hit right with what you're talking about. And I think it is just like an air of just like being able to speak well. Because personally, I feel with any job, it can all be learned, especially with the work that I do. We're not engineering, we're not like math or science. These aren't like deep skills that you have to like learn. It's a lot of communications and working with people. And that's all stuff that can be like, they're soft skills. And if you have the skill of like being able to communicate and like hold yourself confidently, then you quickly rise to the top. And that's really like draws me to one person. We actually just hired a student intern for the summer, and that is how I picked my student intern, is like he just was confident in what he said. He answered all the questions confidently, succinctly, and that's how I chose him. Easy, out of like 10 people, I was like, boom, done. And it wasn't a hard choice at all.
Yeah.
So there's my answer.
And how many were interviewing at the same time?
10. Yeah.
And it's him.
Yeah.
That's cool. Are there any common reasons, you may have just answered this, but I'll just...
Yeah.
Are there any common reasons someone gets hired even when there are multiple candidates?
Yeah. Just the confidence.
Confidence, able to communicate well on that. Oh, are there any warning signs or gaps that make you hesitant to hire someone even if they appear qualified on paper?
You know what? I have experienced this, and you know, on paper you might be able to write all this stuff, and it looks so good, but then when you don't keep your story straight, we've experienced that before, and it's just that. I mean, we all embellish our resumes. We all, when we get into interviews, maybe like embellish the truth when we're like interviewing. But like, you have to like understand like how much you embellish and what that line is. And maybe it's the fact that I work with a lot of international students, but sometimes I'm just like, okay, man, that is just an outright lie. And that's just like come on, like, no. I can tell that you looked good on paper, but now that you're telling me, like, these two things don't add up, and either you're just really bad at communicating that, or that's just a lie, like. So, I don't know, just like, if you're gonna say something on paper, you need to be able to, like, communicate the exact thing that you said on your resume directly in an interview.
Right, and back it up with...
Exactly, be able to back it up. Yeah. I think that's what I'm saying, like, they can't back it up. So if it's on your resume, be able to back it up.
That's funny, because I never thought I'd get that answer, but I've gotten that answer more often.
Really?
And you said the same thing, because they talked about they just don't, it doesn't match their story. And then another person said they have to tell their story correctly, and and there's like 4 or 5 times that people are talking about the story, and I was like, that's an interesting theme.
And you know what it is I do this even with my resume. It's because I use AI to help write my resume points. And I'm sure students use that too, but then they don't review the resume points when they're crafting their story that they're telling.
Yeah.
So then it doesn't match up. So like, review your resume points before, make sure it's like in your voice or whatever,
Yeah.
So.
It just fits. All right. That's interesting.
I'm glad that I'm not the only one who said that. Wow.
So it's like that's actually pretty profound because that wasn't on my radar, and it's like the way people tell their story. It's like that's a thing that's going to be one of my chapters. All right. Okay. After someone is hired or put on your team, what qualities or behaviors help them become a strong, long-term fit for your position?
You know what's so funny is we hired these two girls at the exact same time, and one has been very successful on the team at the same level. They're the same level, but they're just like doing slightly different things on the team. One's been very successful, one has been very not successful. One's on a performance plan, and one is getting promoted. And the reason this one's been successful isn't because she's like spectacular, but it's because she just like does her work. And she's the one who just has a bachelor's degree, and the one on the PPE plan has a master's degree, you know. And the girl on the bachelor's degree, she just like does her work, and she just trudges along. And when asked for her ideas, she just gives an idea with a little bit of data, and she's not cocky, and that's it. That's all she does. And it's just like really impressive to see her just like do her assignments when she says she's going to do them. And that's what's making her succeed very well within the organization.
Just by doing her job.
Just by doing her job. Like, girl, if it's just like, if you want to succeed in your job, just do it.
Yeah.
Like when people get cocky and want to like showboat, that's when you mess up, you know?
Interesting. That's also a thing.
Really?
Yeah.
I am so glad I'm not like
Yeah, you're not way off in the two.
way off base.
Are there any skills or characteristics that separate employees who simply perform their job from those that become a strong candidate for promotion?
I would say being data driven and also being proactive. So, I mean, I'm sure you know what that means, but like an example of that is like recently so in my last nonprofit, I was the executive director. I was hiring people. I was promoting people. And there's this one girl, she was the program manager, and I wanted to promote her. And the reason I did end up promoting her was because many times in board meetings, the board would ask for a bunch of things. And me as executive director, I had like 50 other things that I was doing. And I would put that to the back burner. And then in our next week meetings, she'd come up to me and she would just be like, okay, I moved on those things, and this is where I got stuck. And I didn't have to ask her to move on those things, but she just moved on them because she already knew that it was in her purview of her job. And she finally came to me when she got stuck on it, but I didn't have to ask her to move on it or anything. So that she was proactive. So that's why I promoted her. So it's just about being proactive, like nothing special.
Right. Well, and that's another thing. It's interesting because there is that thing of, it's like, if you have to tell somebody to do everything, it's like, why did you hire them? Versus like, hey, we need to get this done. Okay, next thing, and they're like, all right, and so they go and figure
Exactly.
it out. Because I found it with my secretaries, if I say something simple like, hey, we need to get that sign put up out there,
Yes.
and then I leave. Then they come into my office like, who do I call to get the sign?
And you're like, figure it out.
like honestly, if you make my job easier, it's gonna be.
Then I will promote you and help you more. Trust
Exactly.
me.
Just like take what I say and then run with it, and then when it gets stuck, come back.
And to that point though, like I have found I have been that person. And I found that I've also been this very proactive person. And in my like own observations, I'm the person, I'm more proactive when I love my job. And I'm less proactive when I could give like two craps about my job.
Because you're not thinking about it.
Because I really don't care. And I mean, I don't particularly care about my job right now, to be completely honest. And I find that I'm less proactive now. I mean, I still pride myself, and I do think I do a good job, but I'm definitely giving less effort now than I could be. And, you know, I'm definitely like, I know my standing is on the team, and I'm not the top of the team. And I think it's just like, if I could give advice, and I have given this advice to people, I'm like, if you find yourself like somewhere on that team, I think that's a sign that like, you know, find a different job, and this isn't something that you love. And if you love something, then you will just naturally be proactive and naturally just like run with it.
Yeah. I love that. All right. So when it comes to okay. What qualities, behaviors, or skill gaps prevent people from being promoted even when they're technically good at their job?
What qualities, behaviors, and skill gaps? Well, I think we just talked about like qualities and behaviors. But I would say when it comes to skill gaps, I think something really important is not, you know, being innovative, not being on the top of whatever your skill, whatever technology is in your industry. Like right now, we're using AI, of course, everyone knows. And there's the older people who just don't want to use it, and they're now like hitting a ceiling. Or they're not wanting to even use Salesforce, which is the previous technology, you know, and they're hitting a ceiling in the organization. And because they're not using that technology, they're making everyone else around them work harder, which makes no one like them, which makes them harder to work with, which makes them less promotable and less, you know? So like, if you want, you just have to use the most technology that everyone else is using so that you just rise with the rest of the tide, you know? So.
Okay, I like that. All right, 2 more questions.
Great.
When you think about the people who are most successful in your organization or industry, what qualities, characteristics, or skills do they consistently demonstrate?
Thoughtfulness. They're just very thoughtful and purposeful about everything they do. I am like nothing against. I actually don't even know who the president of BYU Idaho is now. President Meredith. But President Crow of ASU, he is a genius. And everything that he does for ASU is very thoughtful and purpose-driven. And I think that's what has turned ASU around from like a party school 20 years ago to a very purposeful research institution nowadays.
Yeah.
And like, just like something to consider is like every decision he's made has a reason behind it. Now, does every person beneath him have the same thoughtfulness behind their decisions? Not necessarily, but I think that's what makes a good manager and a good employee is they just don't make flippant decisions and flippant like, this is what we're going to do just because. No, there has to be a reason why you're making that decision and a goal in why you're making that decision, you know?
I like that. It's interesting you say that because one of the reasons why I'm doing this is because President Meredith is very purposeful.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll need to meet him. His name's Skip. But
His name's Skip? I love that.
No, sorry, Trip.
Oh, I love that.
But, so the President Irene was there, and his whole philosophy was church club, study club, you don't need anything else.
Yeah.
And he also had the mentality of you don't send anybody home. Oh. And so it's just like, and then we ran into problems because students are like eternal students, and they're not going to graduate, and now they've got this debt that's rolled into it.
Ay,
So it's just
ay,
like,
ay.
oh man, and it really was hard for students. Because BYU Idaho was a backup school because I didn't get into Provo or
Yeah.
and I was like, and he's totally changed that around. He's made it.
Good.
It's actually pretty cool. We just had One Republic come and perform in
Stop
the
it.
BYU Idaho Center.
Yeah.
It's just like, and before when President Iron was in there, he's like, there's nobody going to come perform in here. It's like strictly for devotional and like.
Yes.
And it was interesting just that transition. Now everybody's excited about it, and we're kind of getting record numbers of students going there.
I love that. I definitely like BYU Idaho always had a special place in my heart because like I went there. That's the only school I applied to. I mean, I thought about applying to BYU. I thought about applying other places, but I only applied to BYU Idaho because, again, it was a very purposeful choice for me because it had exactly what I wanted. I knew it was the school for me. It was the place that I wanted to go. And I feel like it has so much to offer students, more than it's cheap. It's a second choice. It has so much value to give to people.
Yeah.
That just makes me so sad when people are like, it's whatever, it's lame. It's like, just what, so cheap and like, blah, blah, blah. I'm
Right,
like,
because that's the first choice people go there. Now it's actually a second choice. It's like, I get to go to BYU Idaho. Their outdoor programs, they've got this, they're doing these. And it's cheap. So
I know, I'm like, that's a plus. But there's so much value in it, and I'm happy that that's the case now.
And it really is going in the right direction. And so I'm excited to bring this data back to be like, all right, now it's not only a good place to come, but we're actually getting people ready for the workforce. Yes. Exactly,
Yes.
Exactly, chef's kiss. Okay, last question. If you could go back to talk to your 17-year-old self,
Oh, yes.
and you want to get promoted, you want to get hired, you want to be successful, what would you tell yourself to develop or change first?
Oh my gosh. And I want to get promoted and I want to get hired. Oh my gosh. Wow. That's a very good question. I would say it would be definitely just patience.
Okay.
I mean, everything, it's a hard road out there. And it doesn't come easy.
Yeah.
Promotions don't come easy. And moving up in the world doesn't come easy. And you just need to have patience with yourself. And students need to have patience with everything around them. And their peers might be moving faster than they themselves, and the world might be moving faster, and it's just the luck of the draw.
Yeah.
And it is what it
Sometimes
is. You just need to have patience with yourself. And that's what it is. Because a lot of things are out of your control.
Yeah.
And that's just what it is. Because you can be as good as the next person, but for some reason or another, they get hired and you don't. And that is just the cold, hard truth of the cruel world, you know? And luckily for us, we also know that like there's a greater plan.
Yes.
And like you just also need to have patience in that plan, and that you can do everything to prepare. But like it might all not go the way that you want. And like that has actually been very much my situation. I don't particularly love my job right now. This has never been the career that I wanted to be in. I never want to live in Arizona. I've been here like 6 years. I wanted a career in government, and I got moved out here to Arizona by Heavenly Father. And I got told to go to ASU for my grad degree, and for an unknown reason, and I thought it was going to lead me to a nice big job, and I got my MBA, and I got all this debt, and like it hasn't pulled it out so far. And so like, you know, I'm just doing the best that I can and moving on. And you know I'm a good worker, and a lot of things have just moved on, and I'm on boards of nonprofits. I still am engaged in community, and I'm civically engaged, and I'm doing good, and I know things will turn out, but like, it's all about patience. All will turn out, and all will be well.
I like that. We have a theme, motto in my family of trust the process.
Yes.
Things will work out as they need to. Trust the process.
And I think that's just like so important, because students, I think things will just happen. You graduate from school.
Yeah, there's that mentality of like, I can go into school, I'm gonna graduate, find my dream job, and
Bada bing, bada boom. Right?
Yeah, it's not that easy.
It's not that easy, but it'll all work out.
It will.
One way or the other.
And it's interesting because I am at my dream job now, but if I go back 15 years ago when I was unemployed for 9 months, thinking, what am I doing? I don't know what to do. Trust the process.
Yeah. I mean, how old are you now?
47.
Yeah, I mean, you're at your dream job now, and you're 47.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, see,
Yeah.
it just doesn't happen. And so like, I think that's like the important thing that I wish I could tell myself, is just like, it won't happen like that.
Yeah.
So it's a journey.
Yeah. Well, keep up the good work.
You know, this is something I've slowly come to learn, and now I'm like, all will be well. And now I'm a lot chiller than I was 3 years ago. It's taken a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's neat. It'd be fun to get you back at BYU Idaho.
You know what's
Where are you
actually, well, I'm from Ogden. However, what's very ironic that I thought about emailing you and telling you is my mom works at BYU Idaho.
Oh, is that right?
And ironically, my brother's getting married on Saturday, and I'm flying up to Idaho Falls tomorrow.
Is that right?
Yes.
Maybe we'll be on the same flight.
Yeah, maybe the Allegiant flight.
I don't know.
Okay, well, but my mom, I think she works in the Lamprecht building.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's the next building over for me,
Yeah.
because I'm temporary in the.
But she does. What does she do? She does.
Probably